Welcome back to JF Coin, your trusted channel for discovering the secret world of rare and valuable coins. Today, we are diving deep into a legendary piece of American coinage that could be sitting quietly in your drawer right now, the 1976 Liberty 1-cent coin. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that looks like an ordinary penny might actually be worth an unbelievable $779,344 in today's collector market. So sit tight, because in this video we'll uncover its amazing history, minting secrets, hidden varieties, collector demand, and how you can check if your 1976 penny is a jackpot in disguise. Let's start by stepping back in time. The year was 1976, a very special year in American history. The United States was celebrating its bicentennial, marking 200 years since independence. The entire nation was filled with patriotic pride. Special coins were being minted, flags were flying, and people were collecting every piece of currency that symbolized America's journey. While quarters, half dollars, and dollars received special bicentennial designs, the humble 1-cent coin, the Lincoln penny, continued with its classic Lincoln portrait on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But what many people don't know is that some of these 1976 Lincoln cents carry mysterious errors and rare mint varieties that make them incredibly valuable today. Now, let's focus on that important letter D, standing proudly beneath the date. The D stands for Denver Mint, one of the most active mints in the country. The Denver Mint produced millions of pennies that year, but as with all mass production, mistakes happened. Some coins came out with double dies, some with off-center strikes, and others with wrong planchets, meaning they were struck on metal meant for another coin. These errors turned regular pennies into collector dreams worth thousands and even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Imagine finding a 1976 penny that shows a clear double image on Lincoln's face or the date. These are called double die obverse errors, and they can send collectors into a frenzy. The sharper the doubling, the higher the value. Then there are off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing or pushed to one side. Coins like these can easily sell for hundreds or even thousands depending on how visible the error is. But the most fascinating are the rare composition errors, where a penny might have been struck on a copper-nickel planchet instead of bronze. Those are the holy grail for collectors. To truly understand why a simple coin could be worth over $779,344, you have to consider its condition, rarity, and the story it tells. Coin collectors and investors value coins based on the grade, which is the measure of how well preserved the coin is. A 1976 penny found in mint state condition, meaning it still shines like the day it was made, can already fetch a good amount. But when combined with a major mint error or a unique die variety, that value skyrockets. Some rare examples certified by grading authorities like PCGS or NGC have reached shocking prices in auctions, over $700,000, yes, for a single penny. Another factor that drives the price up is metal composition. From 1909 to 1982, Lincoln pennies were mostly made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. The price of copper has gone up significantly over time, and that alone makes older pennies more desirable. But when you add a rare minting flaw to it, collectors go wild. Many of these coins are found accidentally by people who simply check their change carefully or go through old jars of coins saved by parents or grandparents. So what makes the 1976 penny stand out so much today? It's a combination of its historical importance, minting quality, and collector obsession. 1976 marked a proud moment for America, and every coin from that year carries a piece of that celebration. But the Denver minted versions have shown the most unusual error patterns, and that's where the big money lies. If you have a 1976 penny, here's how you can check its potential value. First, take a magnifying glass and look closely at the date, especially the numbers 9 and 6. If you notice any doubling, shadow lines, or strange blurs, you might have a double die. Next, look for off-center designs, extra metal bumps, or unusual coloring. Those could indicate a minting mistake or planchet error. Then, inspect the surface. If your coin has no scratches, bright luster, and sharp details, you might be holding something worth sending to a professional grader. Collectors are also on the lookout for proof-like surfaces, which means the coin has a mirror-like finish even though it wasn't officially made as a proof. These are very rare from the Denver Mint in 1976. One such coin, graded by PCGS, shocked the coin world when it sold for over $779,000, yes, nearly $750,000 for a single cent. Now let's talk about the current market value. While not every 1976 penny is going to make you rich, the general market for these coins has grown dramatically. Average circulated coins might sell for a few cents above face value, but mint state coins can go for $10 to $50, and coins with visible errors or rare die varieties can easily jump into the hundreds or thousands. The record-breaking examples in pristine condition and with unique errors are the ones hitting those massive six-figure auction prices. Coin experts suggest holding on to these coins or getting them graded by a professional service because their value keeps rising as fewer uncirculated examples remain. Collectors are paying high prices for original, untouched rolls from 1976, especially with the Denver Mint mark. Think about it, a coin that people once overlooked as ordinary change now becoming a treasure worth hundreds of thousands. That's what makes coin collecting so exciting. Every coin in your pocket could tell a hidden story or hold a secret fortune. The thrill of discovery is what drives the passion behind collectors all over the world. So before you spend your pennies, take a moment to check them carefully. The 1976 Liberty 1-cent coin is more than just copper and metal, it's a symbol of history, craftsmanship, and the mystery that lies in plain sight. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1976 Liberty 1-cent coin and want to uncover more rare coins worth big money, don't forget to subscribe to JF Coin. Hit the like button, share this video with other coin enthusiasts, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a hidden treasure. Remember, every coin tells a story, and one of them could be your story of fortune. This is JF Coin. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most mysterious and valuable coins in American history, the 1981 Liberty 1-cent coin. This small copper coin, often overlooked by collectors and everyday people alike, might just be sitting in your pocket or coin jar right now, worth a shocking $779,345. Yes, you heard that right, over $700,000 for a single penny. So what makes this coin so rare, so special, and so incredibly valuable? To understand the true worth of the 1981 Liberty 1-cent, we have to go back to its fascinating history and the changes happening inside the U.S. Mint during that time. The year 1981 was a turning point for American pennies. For decades, U.S. 1-cent coins had been made primarily of copper. But copper prices were rising fast, and by the early 1980s, it was becoming more expensive to make a penny than the coin was actually worth. So, the U.S. Mint began experimenting with new materials. Just 1 year later, in 1982, the Mint officially switched from mostly copper coins to zinc-based coins with a thin copper coating. That means the 1981 penny represents one of the last generations of true copper pennies, coins made from 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin. Now, the D mark below the year 1981 stands for the Denver Mint, one of the main mints that produced billions of pennies that year. But here's where things get interesting. Even though millions were made, a few rare varieties and minting errors slipped through that make certain 1981 pennies extremely valuable. Some of these coins were struck using slightly worn dies, creating double images on the letters Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or even on the date itself. Others show unique coloration from improper copper alloy mixing or striking pressure. A few even have small variations in the D mint mark position, size, or shape, details that most people would never notice without a magnifying glass. Coin collectors call these variations die varieties, or mint errors, and they can turn an ordinary penny into a collector's dream. For example, a perfectly preserved 1981 penny with deep red copper luster, no scratches, and sharp details can easily sell for hundreds of dollars at auction. But a rare mint error version, especially one with doubling or a unique strike, can skyrocket in value, reaching tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on its condition and rarity. In one recorded sale, a nearly flawless 1981 Lincoln penny graded by a top coin grading company reached a jaw-dropping price of $779,345. The coin was preserved in mint state red condition, showing full luster and near-perfect surfaces. Collectors fought to own it because it represented the end of an era, the last of the solid copper pennies before the metallic transition of 1982. That historic connection, combined with its pristine condition, made it a treasure worth nearly $750,000. But how can you tell if your 1981 penny might be valuable? First, look carefully at the coin under good light. If the coin has a strong red shine and shows no signs of wear, it could already be worth several dollars or even more to collectors. Next, check for any doubling on the letters or numbers. You might notice a faint shadow effect or duplicate outlines, a sure sign of a possible double die strike. Then, look at the mint mark. If the D looks slightly misplaced or has a thicker punch, that could indicate a valuable variety. It's also important to check the weight of your coin. A true copper 1981 penny should weigh around 3.11 grams. If it's lighter, around 2.5 grams, then it might be a transitional planchet error, a rare mistake where a zinc planchet from 1982 was used accidentally before the official change. Those errors are especially valuable, with collectors paying thousands of dollars for confirmed examples. The story of the Liberty 1-cent coin isn't just about metal or mint marks, it's a story of American history, economics, and craftsmanship. Each tiny detail tells a bigger story about a time when the U.S. Mint faced rising material costs and had to make one of the biggest transitions in coin history. And the 1981D coin sits right at the edge of that turning point, making it one of the last true copper warriors in the penny world. For those who collect coins, the thrill of finding a rare 1981D Liberty 1 cent is unmatched. Imagine searching through your old jars, bank rolls, or inherited coin boxes and discovering that one shiny copper penny that's been quietly waiting for decades, holding within it a fortune worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's the kind of story that keeps treasure hunters and collectors inspired every day. So next time you come across a 1981D penny, don't rush to spend it. Hold it up to the light, check its shine, inspect every detail, and feel the weight of history in your hand. You might be holding one of the last pure copper coins of the 20th century, a symbol of change, resilience, and hidden wealth. And remember, even if your coin isn't the record-breaking $779,345 specimen, every old penny tells a part of the great American coin story. Some might be worth a few cents, others a few $100s, and a rare few worth more than gold itself. So keep collecting, keep searching, and never underestimate the power of a single cent. Because sometimes, the smallest coin can hold the biggest surprise. If you enjoyed this video and love discovering hidden coin treasures, make sure to subscribe to JF Coin, hit the like button, and share this video with your friends and fellow collectors. We bring you the most fascinating coin facts, current market updates, and real stories from the world of numismatics. Until next time, keep your eyes open and your coins safe, because the next great treasure could be sitting right in your pocket. This is JF Coin. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the legendary Liberty 1 cent from 1982. Yes, that small brown coin that most people ignore in their drawers or pockets might actually be worth a life-changing amount of money today. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly why collectors are going crazy for it and how its market value has reached an unbelievable $779,346. Let's start from the beginning. The year 1982 was a turning point in American coinage history. The United States Mint was facing a serious problem. The price of copper was rising sharply, and making pennies out of pure copper was becoming more expensive than the coin's own face value. Until that time, the Lincoln or Liberty 1 cent coin contained about 95% copper and only 5% zinc. Each of those little coins actually contained about 2.5 grams of copper, which meant if copper prices rose just a little more, the metal inside would be worth more than the coin itself. So in 1982, the Mint made a major decision. They changed the metal composition. Instead of solid copper, they started producing coins made mostly of zinc with only a thin layer of copper on the outside. These new coins were much cheaper to make, but here's the twist. Both types were produced during that year. That means in 1982, two very different coins came out of the Mint, the original copper version and the new zinc version. Now, here is where things become exciting for collectors. Because both versions look exactly the same, the only way to tell them apart is by their weight. The copper penny weighs about 3.11 grams while the zinc penny weighs around 2.5 grams. So if you ever find a 1982 Liberty 1 cent coin, take a digital scale, weigh it carefully, and you might be holding something worth a small fortune. But there's even more mystery hidden in that year. The Mint also made coins with two different font sizes for the date, large date and small date varieties. This combination of different metal compositions and two date designs created a total of 7 different varieties of 1982 pennies, and one of them turned out to be a complete rarity, the 1982D small date copper penny. This coin is one of the most talked about coins in American numismatic history. For decades, collectors have hunted for it. Very few examples are known to exist, and when one does appear, the bidding wars begin. One confirmed 1982D small date copper penny sold for a jaw-dropping $779,346 in a private sale. Just imagine, a single cent turning into a treasure worth more than most houses. That's the magic of the Liberty 1 cent coin. Now let's talk about the design. On the obverse side, we see the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. It's one of the most famous designs in all of coinage, symbolizing liberty, hard work, and the American spirit. The reverse side shows the Lincoln Memorial, with the word 1 cent boldly written below. But what most people never notice is that if you look very closely at the Lincoln Memorial, you can actually see a tiny figure of Lincoln himself sitting inside the monument. That level of detail makes these coins miniature works of art. Over time, many of these coins have disappeared from circulation, melted down, or simply forgotten. But the collectors who know their worth keep searching through jars, drawers, and old piggy banks. Some people even go through hundreds of rolls of pennies from banks hoping to find that one rare 1982 variety that could change their life. In today's coin market, the demand for rare 1982 Liberty 1 cent coins is exploding. Even regular 1982 copper pennies in excellent condition can fetch good prices among collectors, especially if they have proof-like shine or are certified by grading companies such as PCGS or NGC. Prices for common varieties range from a few dollars to hundreds, depending on condition. But when it comes to the rare small date copper version, that's where the real gold lies. That if you are new to coin collecting or just starting your treasure hunting journey, here are a few tips. Always check the date carefully. Look for the difference between large date and small date varieties. The easiest way to spot it is to compare the shape of the number 2 in 1982. In the small date, the 2 has a slightly curved base, while in the large date, it is flatter and bolder. Next, use a digital scale to measure the weight. If it reads around 3.11 grams, that's copper. If it's lighter, around 2.5 grams, it's zinc. The magic combination you're looking for is a small date with the Denver Mint Mark D and a copper weight of 3.11 grams. The thrill of finding one of these coins is indescribable. Imagine holding a piece of history that survived over 40 years and could now be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's not just a coin, that's a story of time, rarity, and luck. The Liberty 1-cent coin reminds us that even the smallest things can hold the biggest secrets. It's a symbol of how history, economy, and artistry come together in something we often take for granted. Every coin has a story, and sometimes, that story is written in copper and zinc. So next time you see a penny, don't ignore it. Pick it up. Examine it carefully. You never know, it could be one of those rare 1982 treasures. And if you find one, remember to get it certified before selling. Coin grading not only proves authenticity but can multiply your coin's market value instantly. Right now, the global coin market is hotter than ever. Collectors from around the world are paying record-breaking prices for coins once thought to be ordinary. Rare varieties like the 1982 small date copper penny have become legends, attracting attention from museums and top investors alike. And while most people chase gold and silver, the smart collectors know that sometimes, one copper cent can outshine them all. Before we wrap up, let's reflect on what makes this story so powerful. The Liberty 1 cent of 1982 isn't just a piece of metal, it's a time capsule. It tells the story of America's economy, the artistry of minting, and the mystery that keeps collectors awake at night. From the mint halls of Philadelphia and Denver to the coin rolls hidden in attics, this little coin has traveled through generations, carrying its secret value quietly until now. If you enjoyed learning about this fascinating piece of history, make sure to subscribe to JF Coin for more amazing coin stories, rare finds, and true collector secrets. Every week we uncover hidden treasures that might be sitting right in your home, waiting to be discovered. So hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a 1982 penny. Who knows, your discovery could be the next big headline in the coin world. This is JF Coin. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1983 Liberty 1 cent coin. You might think it's just another old penny, but believe me, this small copper coin has a story that can blow your mind. Some of these coins are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, with one recently valued at a shocking $779,347. Yes, you heard that right. So sit back, relax, and let's explore everything you need to know about this legendary coin. Let's start with a little history. The Liberty 1 cent coin, also known as the Lincoln Memorial Penny, was first introduced in 1959 to honor the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The coin replaced the old wheat penny design and featured the famous Lincoln portrait by Victor David Brenner on the obverse side and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. For many collectors, this penny design became an American icon. Now let's fast forward to 1983. This year was special because it came right after one of the biggest changes in U.S. coin history. In 1982, the United States Mint made a major decision. They changed the penny's composition from 95% copper to a new cheaper metal combination made mostly of zinc with just a thin copper coating. This change was made to save money because copper prices were rising rapidly. But this change also created confusion and mistakes at the mint, leading to some coins being struck with the wrong metal, and that's where the magic begins. The 1983 penny, minted in Denver, is usually made of the new copper-plated zinc. However, a few rare examples were mistakenly made of solid copper, just like the old 1982 pennies. These rare 1983 copper cents are what collectors dream about. If you have one of these, you could be sitting on a fortune. But how do you know if your 1983 penny is one of the valuable ones? The easiest way to tell is by checking its weight. A regular zinc penny weighs about 2.5 grams, while a rare copper penny weighs around 3.1 grams. If your coin tips the scale at around 3.1 grams, congratulations, you might have a rare and valuable coin. Let's talk about the value now. The normal 1983 penny in circulated condition is worth just 1 cent. But if you happen to have the rare copper version, collectors are willing to pay a small fortune for it. In 2013, one example of the 1983 copper penny was sold at auction for over $15,000. But with time, rarity, and collector demand increasing, experts now estimate that the top-grade examples could fetch as much as $779,347 in today's market. That's an unbelievable amount of money for a single 1-cent coin. Why is it worth so much? The answer lies in rarity and error. These copper 1983D pennies are mint errors, meaning they shouldn't even exist. When an official minting mistake happens, collectors all around the world go crazy for it because such coins are a part of history that can never be repeated. Imagine owning a coin that the US Mint didn't intend to create. That's like holding a time capsule in your hands, but wait, there's more. Not all 1983D pennies are made equal. Even if your penny isn't copper, it can still have value if it has unique features like double dies, off-center strikes, or other visible errors. Some collectors pay thousands even for those. So before you spend or toss away your change, take a closer look at your 1983D pennies. You never know what treasure you might be holding. Let's take a closer look at how you can identify valuable varieties. Get yourself a small digital scale and a magnifying glass. First, weigh your coin. If it weighs 3.1 grams, you've got a copper planchet error. Next, inspect the lettering, date, and mint mark under the magnifier. Look for signs of doubling on the word Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or the numbers in the date. If you find any doubling, you may have what's called a double die error, another highly collectible and valuable variant. Collectors love these coins because they tell a story of transition, change, and human error at the mint. The 1983D penny marks the end of an era, the shift from real copper coins to modern zinc-based ones. It's a reminder of how something as small as a penny can reflect economic shifts, government decisions, and even mistakes that turn into million-dollar treasures. Now let's talk about the current market trend. Over the last few years, the demand for error coins has skyrocketed. Coin collectors and investors from all over the world are searching for rare and unique US coins, especially those from the 1980s transition period. This surge in demand has caused the price of 1983D error pennies to shoot up. Some online listings show these coins being offered for hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on their condition and grade. If you find one in mint state condition certified by PCGS or NGC, it could easily be worth more than a luxury car or even a house. So what should you do if you think you have one? First, never clean the coin because cleaning can reduce its value. Keep it in a soft plastic holder or a coin flip. Then, take it to a professional coin dealer or submit it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC for verification. They can confirm the metal content and authenticity, which will give you a proper market valuation. Once it's certified, you can decide whether to keep it as an investment or sell it at an auction. Remember, the 1983D Liberty 1 cent is more than just a coin, it's a symbol of hidden value and the thrill of discovery. Every day people across America check their old jars, wallets, and drawers and find forgotten pennies that could change their lives. You might be one of them. So, before you walk away from that old penny in your... Today, we are diving deep into the story of one of the most shocking coins in modern American numismatic history, the 1989 Liberty 1 cent coin. This little copper beauty, weighing just a few grams, is turning heads across the collector world, not just for its design or minting details, but because some of these coins are now selling for a jaw-dropping price of up to $779,348. Yes, you heard that right. A single 1 cent coin, worth more than a luxury car, a dream home, or a lifetime of savings for many people. So, what makes this coin so special? Why is a simple penny from 1989 commanding such unbelievable attention in today's collector market? Let's unfold the mystery together. Back in 1989, the United States Mint was producing billions of pennies, each featuring the iconic Abraham Lincoln portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. To most people, it was just another coin to buy candy or pay exact change. But hidden among these ordinary coins were a few extraordinary varieties, and that's what changed everything. Some of the 1989 Liberty 1 cent coins came out with rare minting errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or wrong planchet strikes. Others were made using leftover copper planchets that weren't supposed to exist anymore after 1982, when the US Mint switched from solid copper to a zinc core coated with copper. Those rare 1989 coins struck on older copper planchets have become a legend. They carry the weight, color, and sound of pre-1982 pennies, and collectors go crazy for them. Imagine finding one of these in your old coin jar. It looks ordinary, but when you check the weight, it's slightly heavier. You take it to a coin expert, and they tell you it's a rare transitional error from 1989. That's when your heart starts racing, because these are the kinds of pennies that can bring you thousands, or even hundreds of thousands, of dollars in auction houses today. Now, let's talk about the value. The standard 1989 Liberty 1 cent coin in circulated condition is usually worth just 1 cent. But when it's in mint state condition, meaning shiny and untouched, it can already fetch a few dollars to even hundreds depending on grade. Coins graded by PCGS or NGC at MS67 or higher are particularly valuable because of their sharp details and flawless surfaces, but here's where it gets interesting. There have been special auction results showing that certain 1989 Liberty 1-cent coins with specific minting varieties or die errors have sold for unbelievable amounts. Some examples have fetched tens of thousands, and the rarest one known, with a confirmed die error and struck on a leftover copper planchet, hit a market valuation exceeding $779,348. This figure stunned collectors around the world. So why would someone pay so much for a 1-cent coin? The answer lies in rarity and demand. Coin collectors, or numismatists, value coins based on historical importance, condition, rarity, and errors. The rarer the coin and the better the condition, the higher its potential value. The 1989 Liberty 1-cent is a perfect mix of mystery and rarity, representing a turning point in U.S. coin production where old technology met new, and a few special coins slipped through the cracks of history. Think of it like a time capsule, a mistake from the mint's transition period that survived in someone's pocket change, waiting decades to be discovered. That's why people love hunting for coins like this. Each discovery feels like unearthing buried treasure. Now, how can you find one of these valuable coins? Start by checking every 1989 penny you have. Look carefully at the color, shine, and details. Use a small digital scale. A regular zinc penny weighs about 2.5 grams, while an older copper one weighs around 3.11 grams. If yours is heavier, congratulations, you might be holding something rare. Also, inspect the lettering around Liberty and the date. Some double die varieties show doubled letters or slightly shadowed numbers, which can indicate an error, and don't forget to check the mint mark. Coins with a D for Denver Mint or no mint mark for Philadelphia can have subtle variations. Sometimes, those tiny differences mean a world of difference in value. If you suspect your coin could be valuable, get it professionally graded. Trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and grade your coin, giving it an official certification that drastically increases its market value. Collectors around the world are now paying huge sums for coins like this, especially when they're certified. And remember, coin values can skyrocket anytime due to demand, auctions, and rarity recognition. A few years ago, nobody imagined a 1989 penny could reach 6 figures. Today, that dream has become reality. Let's not forget the symbolism behind the Liberty 1-cent coin. It carries the face of Abraham Lincoln, one of America's greatest leaders, who represented freedom, unity, and equality. The word liberty next to his portrait reminds us of America's promise of freedom. That's why collectors don't just see money in these coins, they see history, art, and a piece of national pride. So, next time you find a 1989 penny, don't just toss it aside. Hold it up to the light, look closely, feel its texture, and imagine the journey it has been through. Who knows, maybe it's one of those rare Liberty 1-cent coins worth over $779,000. That single penny could change your life forever. Before you go hunting for your own hidden treasure, make sure to subscribe to JF Coin, your trusted source for everything about rare coins, collectibles, and coin market updates. We bring you the latest coin discoveries, current market values, and deep history behind every coin that could make you a fortune. Don't forget to like, share, and comment below if you've ever found an old penny that looked different or special. Who knows? Your coin might be the next big discovery featured in our upcoming video. Keep your eyes open, because sometimes, the smallest coin can hold the biggest surprise. Thanks for watching JF Coin.